This stream contains fast-flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised.
Six teams remain in the competition, and after today, we'll be down to our final four. Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 13 of VALORANT Champions, coming to you live from the Shrine Expo Hall in the Big Orange. I am Yingsu, your host, and on the desk today with me is Bren and Mimi. Now, due to severe weather here in Los Angeles, we unfortunately will not have a live audience today. We hope everyone stays safe and dry, and that you'll enjoy today's matches from wherever you are watching from home. Now, there's no audience here, but Mimi and Brent, we've got this, right? We can cheer for the players ourselves.
Yeah,
Brent's been teaching me about football hooliganism. I'm ready to
I know
channel
a lot
some
about
UK
football
energy.
chants. Yeah, I know a lot of them. I know the only one which is we lose every week. We lose every week.
We lose every week.
You're nothing special. We lose every week. So that might be applicable to some of the teams today.
I mean, looking at the bracket, who are you going to be whipping out the chants for?
I really don't want to be whipping out the chants because
the nice chants.
It's elimination, you know. This is going to be deciding our top four for the tournament. We want to take this serious. We want to be stoic on the desk. No joking around whatsoever. So we've planned absolutely 0 bits for the desk
That
today.
is true. I did learn those chants, but I'm really prepared to just kindly golf clap and have some in clutches.
Nice.
Yeah, that one's ready. But the games today are going to be insane. We have so many good teams. Fnatic and Loud are down in the lower bracket. DRX and EDG are here too, trying to stay alive. And what's crazy is I feel like either of these games could go either way. It's so close.
I love how you guys are saying this, because the second Kong gets that 1v4, you know, and Aspas is flying around, you two are going to be on your feet. Yeah, you're going to be popping off. I can feel it. But that brings us to today's MasterCard fan poll. We want to know which team you want to make a run to the finals. I am not talking about who you think will do it. I want you to be as biased as humanly possible and tell us who you're rooting for, and scan the QR code on screen, and we'll have the results later in the show. As always, make sure you use the hashtags of VALORANT Champions and VCT so we can feature you guys here on the broadcast. We're going to be seeing Fnatic a little bit later today, and I want you to guys to pay a close attention to their coach Mini, because if you've been watching for the last couple of weeks, you'll know that Mini, he reacts when they are losing and he reacts when they are winning, and usually they are the same reactions. Just so you two know, this is not fun, okay? This is a serious segment. I want you guys to seriously tell me as I show you a reaction from Mini. I want some deduction. I want some big brain plays. And tell me if he's reacting to a Fnatic.
Round win?
Yes, a round win or round lose. Okay, win or lose. Let's bring out the first.
Surely it should be pretty easy, right?
Well, pay close attention to Coach Mini here. What do you think is happening?
Instantly to the notebook before even reacting. So something tells me that this is a win, because to an extent he's like, okay, that's fine, we won that, that's ridiculous, but he has something that he wants to adjust for the future to do better.
Yeah, you're like deducting like a prime GeoGuessr player, or like just Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, I'm like that guy that can take a look at like one corner of a coffee and know your exact
and you know exactly.
location.
You can just tell he's looking at a notebook. I like that theory.
Any lip readers?
He's looking at. Oh, hold on. Can we play it again?
What is he saying? What is he saying?
I don't know how to lip read, but I can try.
I feel like if he's saying alpha year at any point, they won.
I'm not going to repeat it.
Let's stop lip reading.
Yeah,
all right.
lip reading.
I mean, let's take a look.
I think that's a round loss.
Oh, you think it's a loss? Mimi's going for a win.
I think it's a win.
All right, let's take a look and see which one of you is right. One of you is going to be guaranteed to be correct here. This was on Lotus. Remember this, guys?
I do, yeah. 2v1. And there we go, we closed it out. But it was not clean. There was like 2 players peeking one by one there.
Funny.
Dirk is going and taking duels. It could have been cleaner. So understandable.
Yep.
Probably saw something in there that he was very unhappy about and wants to adjust. So write that
Sloppy
down.
gameplay.
It's because it wasn't a 5v1 that he's like, someone died in this round, therefore I'm going to mold. Let's move on to the next one and see if this was another winning round from Fnatic or losing. You guys did quite well there. Mimi, you did good. Brent, I'll start with you this time. What do you think?
That's pure despair.
I mean, they've all been despair. I thought the last one was a loss. This guy, he's facepalming, his eyes are glazed over. He's like the dissociating cat image, and he's just staring off into the distance. Can I say it one more time? Is that okay?
All right, let's roll it one more time for you as well, Mimi. What do you think?
I mean, that surely it's not a win if because he's just looking out into the distance like he's just seen something horrible. The poor guy.
Yeah, here it is again.
He's haunted by something else.
I think that's a loss again.
I think this is a loss.
Okay, you're both going for a loss.
Yeah.
Right, let's reveal it and see if this was a justified reaction from Mini, and indeed, if it was a Fnatic loss round. Of course, Mimi picked up the last point, and here we go on Ascent.
There's no way.
There's no way.
There's just no way. It was
how is that? I mean, okay, that was also my reaction to Durka just opping a guy through a smoke after doing this.
But also, like, what was bad about that round? I mean, maybe we didn't see the bad elements.
I mean, Mini's like your father, who you've never seen smile. You get a hug from him once after you win your big game, and it's the greatest moment of your life. The first affection you've ever seen.
I mean, he smiled when they did their on-stage celebration when Durka slapped him across the face, and he smiled at that. So maybe
that was his moment.
Maybe that's what
he cracked. Joy.
But yeah, that was a round win once again. And lastly, let's see if we're gonna get you guys gonna get this right this time around. Oh, this is a big reaction. Oh, yeah.
Oh, what? There was a follow-up. I can't lip read that, but he's saying please. I can tell he's saying please when he holds his head in his hands.
He's covering his eyes on this one, Mimi. He doesn't even want to look.
He can't see it. He can't believe what he's witnessing.
I think that's I'm gonna
surely
go with,
this is a loss.
I'm gonna go with a win.
You think production is trolled and just showing us
I think it's
3
all
wins in a row.
No, I'm not trying to metagame it with production showing 3 wins, but I think that when he's going please, it's like, guys, please stop swinging individually trying to win aim duels. That's what I'm reading from this moment.
It's his prayer to the great Church of Durka to stop taking 1v1s.
Please stop disrespecting our opponents. We're going to get punished eventually.
Okay, maybe you went for a loss, and
I think this is finally a loss.
Went for a win. Let's reveal the results here and see what it was that Mini didn't want to have. Take a look at this. All right, okay.
Okay.
I think this was a win. I remember
it is a win. Because I was wondering why Alpha swung that as well. He was on 15 health and he's just white swinging
but was your reaction like that?
Yes, it was. I was like, what is Alpha doing here? I mean, he's a goated player. He can aim.
Let's not get you talking about Alpha here, bro.
He's 11 health and he's just, I'm going to swing this guy. He doesn't care. So yeah, round win then.
Yeah.
If I was Mini, I would simply be joyous and happy when I saw that happen. I feel like there is a direct correlation, though, between the teams left at this point and how animated their coaches are. Alex is, like, popping off every time. Mini is mad even when they're winning rounds. All of the coaches left just have the most insane reactions.
I would say that Christine is pretty good. Christine gives us the best reactions when EG do something absolutely crazy. But we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, a debt must be paid. And of course, we got our first elimination match coming up, Loud versus EDG. Don't go anywhere.
To ask you about a guarantee. Pick one of these games, guarantee that they happen and who the winner is, or I'm dressing you in a costume for the cast.
So if I select the finals, then when do I dress up in a costume for the cast?
Well, that's a good point. Next year, I suppose.
I've got the loophole.
It has to be before the finals. Before the finals.
Okay, I will go with EDG, guarantee the EDG win.
Guarantee the EDG win?
Yeah.
I am getting you dressed up, Sonny Jim. I'm getting you dressed
What am I wearing?
You'll have to see.
Well, well, well. Isn't that the consequences of your own actions? Mimi, what do you think about this cosplay?
Why does he have... Why are you holding the pacifier like that?
I don't want to put it in my mouth entirely.
But it was already in your
cleaned it
mouth.
with like sanitizer. And then he washed it off. I don't want to put it in my mouth.
You don't look like a baby. You look like a babushka. Like a grandma friend.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the memes and the edits on Twitter. I can't wait, guys. Make sure you use the hashtag VALORANT Champions and show us your best attempt of making this into a meme. The slow zoom is killing me. But now we got that out of the way. Hope you're comfortable. Bren, you look great. We're gonna go into another game. Are you ready? Ready to play this one?
Yeah, I love games.
Oh, yeah, me too. I love your predictions as well, Brad. They're always so on point. And speaking of things that you say that are on point, we call this segment Good Take, Bad Take. And this is how it's going to work. I'm going to show you guys some tweets and some takes from the Valorant community, pro players, and everyone else under the sun. And I want you guys to tell me whether you think this tweet is a good take or bad take. You ready, Mimi?
I can't.
You
focus.
can't take your eyes off of this.
I can't focus. What am I looking at? Okay.
Let's play the game. Let's play the game. And we'll start with the first tweet. It is from the legendary North America IGL FNS. And he said, Ethan might be the greatest flex. Is this a good take or a bad take? What do you guys think?
What does the baby think?
Incredible
He agrees with me.
I strongly agree with this.
Fantastic take from Phoenix, noted IGL. He's a very smart mind, and this is a great take from him. Ethan is so good. His like KO flashes, I feel like, are the most impactful of like out of so many initiator players that I watch that are good. He sets his team up for success so well. On the fly, he's always ready to use a piece of util, and he's also the best blue agent player in the world. Great Sage, great KO, great Yoru. He's got it all.
NA bias on the desk.
Yeah, I mean, if you start crying, that's a perfect NA cosplay.
Perfect cosplay.
Yeah. Now, next take here, you guys are both in agreement here, is from our very own Dan Dryad here. She's got a tweet coming up right here, and I want you guys to tell me if you think that this is a good take or a bad take. Paper X playing Reyna, they are winning champs.
Sure, I'll agree with that.
Okay,
It's fun, it's whimsical. I was actually talking with Sean today about it, and it's like you need a team to be all in when they're playing the wacky comps like Paper X. You can't half-ass it. You got to be all in with the entirety of your team. They are all in. They love it. Something loves playing Reyna. It's excellency. I love it. They're gonna win champ.
I think Paper X is the thing here. Yeah.
Technically speaking, just because they play Reyna doesn't actually mean they're going to be a better team. It's more defined by how well they're going to perform for the remainder of the event and what they're going to do.
Shooty.
They're gonna get shot in the face.
Yep. Bren's right. I'm with him on this one. Let's take a look at our next take. That one you guys disagreed with. We're gonna have to get Mimi in a costume in a second. But let's hear from Ben Kai. VCT is slowly becoming WWE. West Golden Boy when you need him.
We need Golden Boy.
Yeah, with all these new heels.
One thing I have learned actually
I love it.
from GB is that heels are the bad guys in wrestling.
Yeah.
Yes,
He did teach me that.
Yeah, me too.
Slowly, but I also know nothing about WWE, so I'm putting both these signs sideways because I don't know, maybe there are some bad guys in there.
If GB was here, he would agree with this take. So I will overrule it and say it was a good take. Just for GB, yes. Okay. GB, this is for you. I got your back. Yeah, I got your back. And finally, let's hear from Zekken.
I already strongly agree. Zekken's really base.
There we go.
Wait, guys. Is that a Lunchable? I haven't seen that since like 2008.
I believe that is some pepperoni on some cheese.
Have you ever had a Lunchable, Stu?
I do not know what that is.
Ejector. You can't be in it. You cannot be it. Neither of you can be the champions in North America.
I've had it Uncrustable. That's great.
That's not the same, and you didn't have that till you
came to America. Okay, let me explain what a Lunchable is to you. It's a small package that comes with a variety of items in a low plastic thing, normally pretty cheap. It'll have like cold cut meats, it'll have crackers, cheese, things like that.
That sounds
great.
And
normally it's really like low quality and really cheap, but it was always a treat when you're in like 5th grade and you get to have it for lunch.
Perfect for you. There we go. Well,
were people wearing this in 5th grade? I don't think so.
We'll somehow for
so.
you guys. But apparently that was a bad take, Zekken. I'm very, very sorry.
Well, no, it's a fine take because Zekken is a 5th grader, so it's acceptable at that age.
Okay, we'll give it to you. But let's move on now to the first lower bracket match of the day. Of course, elimination time. It's Loud versus EDG. We've got a Masters Tokyo rematch. As you guys would remember, this is where EDG managed to knock Loud out of the tournament. And Brent, look how much this meant to this team and to Kong.
Yeah, I mean, this was the big moment where EDG finally kind of broke through their own barriers. A lot of the achievements that they made were fantastic. And yeah, I mean, I think that they have just been going from strength to strength. Obviously, you're in a difficult task today. This is the lower bracket run at Champs. It's the biggest event of the year. They want to be trying to, exceed the expectations they really set for themselves at Tokyo.
But this matchup has changed a lot since then. This was the tournament where Loud was struggling the most, I think, where they were on kind of a downward spiral, weren't looking quite up to form, and it was a good moment for EDG. I think it was the first match where people were like, okay, this is the moment where EDG is actually going to be a top contender at these global tournaments. But now it's EDG who's gone down to the lower bracket first, and it's a Loud team who, despite their loss yesterday, I think look in their best form since they won that Americas League.
I think you're spot on here. This is where when EDG won, we all started taking them really seriously as a team and having high expectations. Whereas for Loud, I think a lot of people felt like after they were knocked out, they're not as strong as we thought they were going to be. So the narratives have been flipped on its head today. But for more on EDG, let's send it over to Paperthin and get a quick word with their IGL Haodong.
All right, Haodong, if I could have a moment of your time, nice to see you. So you guys beat Loud in Tokyo Masters in a similar situation. You're going up against them again. They look a lot stronger here at Champions. What's the game plan coming into today?
你们在东京大师赛的时候，其实在败者组击败了 Loud。那现在在冠军赛，好像情景要再现一次了，这故事要重演。但是现在的话 ，Loud 看起来状态非常的好。那今天对战他们，你们大概的一个方针是怎样的呢？
我觉得虽然说他们看起来状态好吧，但是我觉得我们的状态会比他们更好。
Even though they look pretty strong right now, but I believe that our form is better than theirs.
Ooh, all right, strong words. All right, we'll send it back to you guys.
I mean, he believes in that. Brent, do you agree with him?
I couldn't actually hear what he was saying at the end.
He said that they're in good form, but he feels like EDG are actually in better form.
Better form? I think individually that might be the case as well, but one of the things that's been sailing Loud through, I think, has been some of those the discipline that they've been playing together. And it's a key win condition. I mean, we'll be talking about that a little bit later on, but I would definitely agree. I think individually, EDG are on fire right now. They are a team that is driven to perform on the big stage.
I actually think both these teams are pretty even in the individual form they're hitting right now, with players like Les and Ospas stepping up, but I do think Loud is in a better place strategically, where I would say as a team their form is stronger.
Yeah, of course, EDG, they got here by eliminating BLG, and a lot of them were really emotional about this because for them, they are the last hope of the Chinese region, and especially for Kong. Check out this clip from his post-match interview.
跟他们交手的时候心情很低落吧，因为我并不想亲手把自己的兄弟送掉，然后但是我们自己没有打好吧，然后这一场导致了现在这个原因，所以说我们会带着我们另外两支兄弟的那一份希望吧，继续往前走的。
Well, I was very upset when I was facing off against BLG today because I really don't want to eliminate them with my own hands. This is the least thing that I wanted to do. Also, it was our fault that we didn't play well in the previous matches. So coming to this point, I would definitely bring the hope of the other two CN team and to move forward.
I mean, I've never seen a player reacting like this after a win, Mimi. Well, let's not forget, they won this elimination game, and you can tell how much it means to me to be able to carry on the legacy of the other players.
Absolutely. I mean, we don't really see that from any other regions when they eliminate their teams from the same region at home. But for Kong, it's clear that it was special for him that BLG could make that run, that multiple teams could really have that opportunity to represent his region, and sending one home was painful. But now I think they can channel that energy into not being sad, but instead into being like, hey, we're the last stand. We can make this happen for the team we've already had to eliminate.
Yeah, it's time to carry the torch on now as well for the entirety of your region. I think they feel that to their core as well, especially because you consider China as a region has had a late start in terms of the competitive circuit. And really, EDG have been the kind of trendsetters, the big brother team in the region in terms of that everybody's looking up to and following up on. And so, yeah, I think there's going to be feeling, that extra element moving forwards into the lower bracket for EDG here.
Yeah, of course, it's a familiar opponent as well. They played against Loud at Tokyo. And Brent, let's talk about the improvements of Loud, though, because this is not the same team we saw in Tokyo in terms of fundamentals and discipline.
So one of the most impressive things I thought about Loud during their match against PaperX was the fact that they were so tightly coordinated together in terms of not letting anything slip. Look at this instance here. They were constantly putting themselves in positions that they can get into high-low setups to punish individual plays and swings through smokes or whatever through moments, and they were really just letting no opportunities, no gaps in their play for a chance of the opponents, whoever they're placing, to really get through. And there were many, many instances of this where they're all tightly together. This moment here I had to pull as well, because I don't know how they ended up winning this scenario. It should never have been won, but again, insane fundamentals, insane shots as well, and individuality that really got them through that moment where they're just collected and corralled into the corner from the ultimates and the flank attempt. And I think this is one of the massive strengths for them as well heading into this series, because EDG have kind of been struggling with that discipline in terms of playing together. There's been a lot of that individuality from specific players, in particular Nobody as well. As an individual, he's been taking matters into his own hands a lot of the times as your initiator player. It's painful gameplay when I watch it, because he makes a lot of high-risk, low-reward plays across the board, and I'm just left wondering, how good could EDG be if Nobody did tighten it up a little bit? I think he's going to need to do so for this series.
And that's where the sharp contrast is, really, because when EDG beat Loud back at Tokyo, I think the biggest issue for Loud was that those fundamentals that are normally so good that you're talking about were really lacking. Loud was out of form, but here in CHAMPIONSLA, it's more so been EDG where I'm seeing a lot of these mistakes come out. Like you're talking about with Nobody, it seems like in close matches, when we get to overtime, when we get to tight games, he feels a constant need to make a play, to go for an opening kill, to take a risk, and there's so many rounds where EDG ends up in a 4v5. Like, what's going on here, where he's just pushing mid alone, dies to YZ. EDG so often have had to come back from a deficit because of these risks he's taking.
In the 4v5s as well. I mean, we have a graphic to show this in terms of the 4v5 win rates. They are put into that scenario basically ahead of almost every other team I believe that we've got here. Look at the sample size of this, man. I mean, they have over 100 rounds that are in a 4v5 situation, and they're still near the top, honestly, just a few percentiles off away from Loud. This is a crazy win rate, to put it in context. Teams do not win this often in 4v5s, but EDG have been forced to play like this because they do have this high-risk, low-reward playstyle with a couple of individuals, and I just really need to see this cleaned up for the matchup here today against Loud, because I do think Loud are going to be the kind of team they're not going to let that slip. They are going to punish you if you try and go for plays like that.
I think the good side of it is that EDG is really good at quickly reacting. When Nobody goes for one of those strange plays, someone like Kong or Smoggy is normally so swift to take the space off his death, try and find that next pick and make the play to salvage rounds. My worry, though, is against Loud, a team whose fundamentals have been in such good form that it'll, instead of being, okay, Nobody makes a mistake, or someone else makes a mistake to get into 4v5, and then we make a play to equalize, it's instead someone makes that play, and then it's just snowballing out of control for EDG.
Yeah, and the way the Loud is playing, they're going to punish them, right? They know that EDG like to put themselves in these situations, so I can't wait to see what they got cooked up in preparation. And speaking of, let's check in with Loud and send it back to Paper Thin with Coach Fraud.
All right, we've got Loud coming in here. Fraud, a moment of your time, please. So this is a rematch for you guys from Masters Tokyo, but you guys are looking a lot stronger this time here at Champions. What's been the biggest change for you coming into this event?
I would say just really refocusing on ourselves. Sometimes we spend a little too much time studying our opponents, and we don't have enough time to really look inward about some of the things that we're doing, some of the things that we can improve on. So I think that's been our biggest focus, just really focusing on ourselves and kind of what's working, what's not, and trying to improve.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Good luck today, man. Take care. All right, well, we will send it back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Paper Thin and Fraud. But this is the thing, right? I feel like them being able to focus on themselves a little bit is bringing them wins. It's working clearly. And Mimi, although I will say, anytime you feel like maybe overcooking, you know, that bind comp, some of the other stuff as well?
So I think there's a balance. I think early in the tournament, they were overcooking. I hated that Ascent comp, but the other stuff more recently, I've actually been happy about, right? This Pearl comp, I think people were criticizing them for it, but I think the idea might have been kind of an anti-Paper Rex strat to have that breach, to punish these facets, be able to play Flood retake stronger, which I thought was actually a pretty good idea. I also think that their bind comp has a lot of merit. When Loud was at their best, it was always because they were innovating. They were at the forefront, the first Harbor Viper team. You always have to take risks, and sometimes you'll look silly for it, but when your fundamentals are so good and you actually have solid ideas behind the comps, sometimes it will fail, but I think in the playoffs now, they found a pretty good balance.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. It's almost the Na'Vi effect as well, where the fundamentals of the players are so good that they just think the comp is good itself. Maybe we'll see them tighten it up as well. I'm not too sure. Like, if they ended up, you know, playing Bind today and pulling out the triple controller, might be a bit troll, but I could see when I was watching it back, I mean, they had some ideas on it.
Yeah, I think they did as well. But I also think that if they are going to get to this stage, they've already, I think, filtered out most of the comps that weren't working. That Ascent comp in particular, already out of the building. I think what they have now is likely what they'll stick to for the rest of the event. For instance, them also moving back to Harbor Viper on Haven. I think the group stage was their chance to experiment, be a little bit more weird, but I think Loud has found themselves again.
Yeah, well, not to mention these players, you know, some of them, they've won this trophy before. They've done this run, and of course, Les, I feel like, is a player that we talk about a lot. He was having a legacy game yesterday as well. But Chichu on the other side, Bren, is who I'm looking at because he's been extremely consistent for EDG.
Dead impressed with Chichu, I think, as well. Like, leading into the event, I thought he was going to be one of the top Sentinel players at the event that we've got, just in terms of how he plays. He's mad consistent, and he is up against that head-to-head of Les as well. You have two of the best Sentinel players in the event still, arguably, as well. I mean, lots of candidates for it, but these guys are going to be having a battle, and Les has been having just world-class games over and over and over again. It's been rare that he's had a drop-off in form in terms of his individual map performance. He's always carrying essentially the burden, almost deadlifting his team in some instances. You can just see it really in the numbers itself.
I mean, it's insane what Les has pulled off. I feel like he diffed Alphier in the Fnatic series. He then goes on and plays other great teams, is diffing them versus Paper X. I thought he was the best player in the server of that series for particularly those first two maps. They still end up losing, but this guy is in the form, if not better, he was in when Loud lifted the trophy in Champs Istanbul last year.
Yeah, this is the thing, right? They are set for defending their title from last year, which we have never seen before. The question is if they can do it. Do we feel like Loud are in that form right now? They can take down EDG
I think they're a scary
and go
team.
further?
Yeah, I genuinely think that they are in very good form right now where they can go on a championship run. This is one of the tightest events we've had in terms of competition between all the teams that we've got left. It's very difficult to call the winner when you consider as well that we've got some of the, you know, the heavy favorites in the lower brackets where one slip up, one mistake will cause you to exit, and you don't get the winners in terms of advantage when if you even make it to the grand finals. You don't get that advantage with the map vetoes.
In my mind, I think Loud is a pretty clear favorite today versus EDG, but EDG is a team that every time you underrate them, they come out, they show a series where it goes to overtime, where they push a team they shouldn't, so incredibly close. This team is fantastic in these high-pressure, lower bracket situations, and I think that their style, even though Loud has played against it before, is crazy enough that those risks they take will oftentimes pay off, even against great teams like Loud.
Yeah, let's not forget, for EDG, they made history already this year by winning their first match, going as far as top 6. But if they win today, they're going to be setting another record for their region and for themselves as well. Earlier, we spoke to their IGL Holdon about their win over Bilibili and his desire to make it all the way to the Kia Forum.
其实我觉得 BLG 打的真的还算不错，但是反观我们自己的话，赛程当中其实还是出现了不少问题嘛。然后，我们回去之后一定会好好复盘，提醒自己该怎么调整。开心还是算开心的吧，但是今天的结果赛前应该我们也预设到了嘛，所以说没有特别喜出望外的开心。其实我的感受没有很深处吧，因为我觉得电子竞技它就是这样残酷的。然后我们把他们送走，希望他们回国再练一练，看有没有机会把我们也送走下一次。把今天的输给EG那一次的对战在我脑中把它删除，然后全力面对今天的比赛。
What's going on? No way, this doesn't seem right, but hold on! Kekek's farming! Oh, he's absolutely destroying him!
在我心里肯定是我100%相信我的队友，相信康康，相信任何人。我觉得我们团队 一定是高于他们的。首先，我肯定想赢下下一场比赛，然后去到新的一个场馆，我一定要体验一下这么震撼的场馆，然后电竞赛事吧。
It will be a tremendous deal for EDG, but what did you guys go for in the MasterCard fan poll? It seems like most of you want Fnatic to make a final. I'm not super surprised about this one.
I think that makes a ton of sense. The storyline would be sick. A lower bracket run all the way to the finals for Fnatic for a chance of the three-peat. I mean, they would literally make history that probably wouldn't get repeated in VCT history. I would safely say that. That is something that, honestly, is very hard to replicate.
Well, today, 4 teams will try to keep their lower bracket run alive and make it to the grand finals. It is Loud versus EDG, DRX versus Fnatic. Get ready because it's time to kick off day 13 of VALORANT Champions.
You do not want to be going down to the lowest.
They know how difficult that lower bracket is going to be.
比赛输了，然后我哥就跟我打电话嘛，他跟我说，其实现在的输赢并不重要，就算是你赢了，你也只是侥幸的赢下了他们，而不是真正击败他们。
Então tem que se preocupar em ser, vou ser eliminado. Vai ter a mesma mentalidade que a gente teve desde esse campeonato. Pegar nosso jogo, continuar fazendo nossas coisas.
그래서 굉장히 아쉬웠는데 그 대회에서는 항상 떨어졌었거든요. 이번에야말로 꼭 가고 싶고.
他跟我说，当你不断的 push 自己，在赛场的时候，知道怎么去冷静下来，知道拿到人头优势该更稳定的时候。那个时候你才能够真正意义上的得到胜利嘛。
日本第2季。然后如果说这一次能够淘汰Loud，我们进入了4强。
Vai ser jogo difícil, mas eu quero muito essa revanche.
It doesn't really affect us that we are in lower bracket. I think that's mainly from my experience, just to remain calm and chill, even in some bad moments.
이제는 코인이 1개 남았기 때문에 오늘 하지 못했던 걸 이제 저희가 이제 넘어서 사는 하나 팀인 거네요. 그래서 저희는 그걸 졸지 않고 저희 게임을 해서 충분히 이겨볼 만하다고 생각합니다.
I remember watching Fnatic vs DRX match, but now it's different. Now I'm in this team.
Let's go. One more.
One more.
Let's go. Let's see who swims best.
为了梦想，为了开心，为了家人，为了兄弟们。
Something just for this kind of.
한 명씩 맞죠? 저는 미니를 맡을게요.
하겠다 이건가 역시.
야 전투를 측정이 안 돼. 얘는 보여준 게 없다고 카운터 받는다고.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Loud will be the higher seed because you dropped from upper bracket, so you get to choose Team A or Team B.
Team B.
Team B. So EDG, you will be Team A, and we'll start with your first ban.
First ban, Lotus.
Lotus, your ban.
Fracture.
Fracture, and map number 1.
Bind.
Bind. Side on bind.
Defense.
Defense. Okay, and map number 2?
Ascent.
Ascent. Side on ascent.
Attack.
Okay. And next set of bans starting with EDG, you have Haven, Pearl, and Split.
Ban Pearl.
They ban Pearl. Your band, you have Haven and Split.
Yeah, we ban Split.
Ban Split. So map number 3 will be Haven, EDG, side on Haven.
Attack.
Okay. And we'll run back through this. First set of bans, we have EDG with Lotus, allowed with Fracture. Map number 1 is Bind with allowed on defense. Map number 2 is Ascend with EDG on attack. Next set of bans were Pearl and Split. Map number 3 Decider is Haven with EDG on attack. All right, good luck to you both.
Have fun.
Edward Gaming. Loud.
This is for a shot at that top 4 for Loud, a chance to defend their title. But for EDG, it will be uncharted territory. But both teams didn't fight and claw their way just for their journey to end here.
They absolutely didn't. But last time we saw this match, it's where it ended. For Loud, it was the first big win for EDG, where people started to believe they were a contender at global tournaments. But Loud has come back so strong this event. They've had a great run in the playoffs thus far. They almost beat Paper X, but now they're down here in the lower bracket where EDG is so comfortable.
Yeah, they certainly are. I think Loud also, though, going to be drawing upon that veteran presence, that experience that they've got of being in a lot of these tournaments and really being able to potentially go on the run of things. I mean, they are looking large and in charge so far. I was speaking to Fraud as well when he was getting his makeup done. I was shocked because he was saying that they did about 4 hours of VOD reviews of just looking at, you know, some of their own stuff, of course, as well, but a lot of what EDG was running.
I mean, speaking of that stuff, let's talk about the map vetoes, because we are going to get Bind, Ascend, and Haven. So a possibility for the triple controller to come out, but also a possibility, Mimi and Brent, for some changes too. Maybe they don't fancy running that again.
Yeah, I think the biggest question is around Bind. With Loud showing a couple different compositions, in particular on Ascent, even if I didn't love it initially, I think it does make them a harder team to prepare for. And I actually thought that, talking about Bind specifically, that the composition they showed with that double controller had some good ideas, using the Omen one-ways and Paranoias for extremity control on both sides of the map, and having so much stall on defense or in your post plants. It's something I doubt EDG have really ever played or scrimmed against.
Yeah, well, I mean, you say that. They do play in the China region.
I mean,
that region that goes through experimental phases a lot in terms of what comps they run. But I do think that Loud has also won the map veto. I kind of agree with your points that you're making. I think the Bind, they can showcase the triple controller if they want to. They can also go back to the chamber comp. So it's very hard to prep for that if
they also just have a default race comp as well.
Exactly. And I think Ascent and Haven leans more heavily as well in favor of Loud, I would say, on top of that. So a must-win, really, for EDG, I think, heading into Bind. And this comp is going to decide everything.
Well, let's find out now in the Prime Gaming Agent Select. They are going to stay with the triple controller, but Kong is whipping out the Reyna.
Whoever said Paper X is winning because they played Reyna, you got another contender right here. Kong locking it in for the first time for him at a global event. So this is very Paper X-esque. I think the biggest thing to look at is how they're going to be able to combine these Reyna Leers and Sky Flashes to create space and get into these sites. It's also, I think, could be pretty good against the Triple Initiator. Really powerful to be pushing through and abusing all these smokes that Loud will be putting down.
I mean, it's not just the first Reyna at a global event, it's first Reyna ever, Brent. He doesn't play a lot of agents.
Yeah, that is, I mean, he has tied my brain into a pretzel with that pick. I mean, I just cannot really make sense of it, of what they're going to be doing, if there's a weakness they've shown. But Loud playing the triple controller comp, it did look less practice when I was watching it back. I think that they have some ideas of how they want to play it. Significant stall, like you were mentioning, Mimi, on the defense side in particular. But there are things that you can counter-strat or you can actually pick apart. If EDG have done their homework, I think that they could exploit that and potentially get a win here today. But the Reyna has thrown me for a loop. I mean, I have a lot of faith in a team like PaperX to run the Reyna because they really do follow it up with pretty crucial ideas of combining the util, like the Leas and other breakable pieces of util. But EDG going to have that preparation behind it.
I think on defense, Loud's strength is going to have to come in Flood retaking, giving space to this Reyna Sky and then re-pushing back in together. And a lot of that will come down to Ospas. He was good in their upper bracket games, but he's been struggling on agents other than Jet. In the past, he was one of the world's best Raze players, and this is his chance to prove that he is again, this time against Smoggy, who's in great form.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Also, Kankan, we know what he can do with the op. He loves to op, and he's going to be opping on that Reyna on Bind. So,
I mean, he's done it on Gecko before.
But this is the thing, like, where can Loud anticipate where he's going to be?
I mean, so I have a hot take that I think one of the best things that EDG could do is actually make Kankang rifle predominantly for a map, because they are getting hard counter-stratted by teams. We saw it against Giants and PaperX when they played against them. They were counter-stratting and hard countering Kankang's positioning with the operator and tracking the money. I would love for them to throw a bait and switch to save money, make sure that they can buy the operator, but just still lean into rifles and play around that to throw opponents' preparation off. I think that would be really sick to see if they do go through with it. And there's no better agent really to do that with rifling than Reyna.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also looking for the side of EDG towards that Sky player, Nobody, who has been making some interesting plays thus far in playoffs, giving away a lot of first duels. With this Reyna Sky Raze comp, his role is so important as that solo initiator. He's their only source of information. He's also the player who has to combine with the Reyna to get his way into sites. If he's continuing down the path of going for crazy first kills all of the time, I think that could make this composition fall apart.
Yeah, I can't wait to see if he's going to dismiss out of there the way that Something does, you know, just constantly over and over again. But Brent, you mentioned that Frod was saying they watched a lot of VODs of EDG. They've been prepping, but the thing is, EDG, they have technically had an extra day because they played a little bit earlier, so maybe they spent time trying to cook up something like this. How much is this going to throw the Loud preparation off, do you think?
I think it will to a certain degree as well, because you have to play around, for one, Kankang's operator. Again, I'll repeat what I was saying. Giants and PaperX, they played around it really well. When Giants were playing against them on Split, they were always using util to clear the common angles that he loved to play on. And when PaperX were playing on Fracture, they were always poking holes in terms of where he wasn't playing and exploiting that all the time with contact plays. I would love to see them lean more heavily into a bit of rifling, because Kankang, listen, the op is flashy. He's one of the best operators, I think, at this event, if not the best. But if you can throw off preparation in some way or form by changing up the expected outcomes of how you're playing, it can really throw a team like Loud off. On Bind as well, when they're playing this triple controller, and in my opinion, it didn't look as fleshed out. Yes, it had some cool ideas behind it, but it wasn't as concrete compared to some of the other comps that they were playing.
I do think, though, that Loud should be ready for this composition, because PaperX also plays a Reyna Sky on this map, and they just had to prep for PaperX last night. I think they should be ready for some of the main ideas behind this comp, but the question is whether EDG will have a different idea cooked up that PaperX would have.
Well, thank you very much, you guys, for hanging with me here. The agents are locked in. Of course, the Reyna is locked in, and we're ready for our first map. I can't wait to see what your casters make of this. Over to you, Doug and Sean Gers.
Thank you so much, Jinsu. It's actually really interesting, Sean, that we're in this situation where, due to weather circumstances, the crowd is empty, but it almost adds an extra, like, eerie tension to the entire event.
You can feel the pressure from when the players walked in. They're actually trying to make the hype. They're trying to bring each other up. And what an insane pick this is. Picking Bind, picking into a Reyna now, off of the chamber that we saw previously. A lot of A control was gathered by Kong Kong earlier on in their Bind games. And I think he's going to still do that. I think the Lears are going to be really active in pushing short A, coming out long B, and really punishing these controllers that often don't want to take these early fights.
Hey, they're not going to have much of a choice. Edward Gaming starting off on the attacking side, and you see a bit of a lean towards A short already. And you have most of the controllers, I mean, 2/3 of them, are playing right in the same space, Sean.
Yeah, look at the little trap set up here by Loud. They're going to triple play on short A. Nobody's flash goes into showers to clear it. So the one way that Sadok threw in showers is worthless right now. And you can see right now, they're just sniffing out the map, trying to get a feel for what Loud is trying to accomplish with their defensive setup.
Yeah, it's actually such a benefit. We just saw Tui's refresh that smoke. And that's one of the benefits of running a triple controller comp, is that you can invest those early and know that you still have control elsewhere. Now a second smoke used towards Showers. You see the nade out as Kalenzine has to take a slight step back. Still no commitment. Dude, they drew that out so well.
Out, and now Shorty is wide open. Kong gets a free sight. Nobody right behind him. This is going to be a very, very difficult retake right now for Loud, Doug.
Also really surprising. I mean, you seldom see a team of Loud's caliber get manipulated the way that they just did. And you've already got Kong who's pushing up in spawn. Howdong gets a spike down. Nobody's there to help. That flash is going to be huge, but is the timing right? Are they going to peek on the other side of it? Yes, they are. A couple of kills going in favor of Loud, though. That's massive. They're going to continue to push forward into pipes as well. Just Chichu and Howdong remain. Can they hold the line? Can they keep the spike up? Howdong has done well as he gets 2, leaving things in a 1v2. Chichu by himself, and he has been a fiend this tournament. But Tui's with 3, and Loud get the pistol.
And they're going to give that defuse over to Tui's, Doug. That's 4 orbs for the Brimstone on a very, very unlikely retake. Maybe a bit of overheat into spawn right there coming out of EDG.
So early, too. You make a really good point. For him to be more than halfway to his orbital strike in round 2 is just dumb.
I think that's one of the best ults available to this team right now. So, yeah, having 4 orbs going into this potential eco round right here, and I say potential because having a Reyna that can flip the script here, I think this is a very winnable round for EDG.
2 Sheriffs on their side, and then just Classics the rest of the way. No armor with it either.
Again, the stall coming out of these controllers at the A site. This was something Na'Vi struggled with early on in the game against Loud. But there's the Reyna already at 150 with the Sheriff. And that's what I would say. I don't think these controllers want to fight in this A site. The goal is to stall, stall, stall. And that's why I love the Reyna pick. I can tell they're going to totally disrespect these smokes.
Kong is already up to his antics. There have been so many discussions around him individually and how he has really high highs, but he's had some low lows this tournament. I think for this series in particular, he has to play well.
Very powerful setup entering this stage of the round here, Doug. They have long B control, and if you notice, the solo initiator is lurking by the Showers TP. Nobody frequently has lurked on all of the maps, but if they feel like there's a B stack going on, they will pivot to Nobody. Nobody's sniffing things out right now, and there's the rotate.
What was the cue, though? I don't know what they saw, but Loud decide to slowly start to rotate over, not fully convinced of what's happening on the other side, and look at how far up Aspas is. Oh my goodness, he's behind them.
30 seconds left.
They're going to get the spike down, but if there's no awareness of what's happening in Showers, they could be in some trouble. Howdong's going to be the first to peek. Nothing but a classic.
Oh,
what?
No. And Chichu is on the Giga Lurk right now, Doug. This is a nightmare for Loud.
I still don't fully understand how we got that kill. Kong pushing forward is going to clean up Kalenzine. They're going to draw out the orbital strike. Les gets it to half, but it doesn't matter. And I love the investment of the ult that early because you know you still have so much half to play for. You're going to get another one up.
How insane. We were talking about Tui's orbital strike, and Howdong is the one that ends up popping it on the second round after losing the pistol. Oh, ridiculous round coming out of EDG with very, very minimal investment.
Such a good opener. Kong getting 2 kills, actually a third once he's upgraded to the Spectre. That's huge.
Okay.
And going into this round now, they have a huge economic advantage. They're going to try to punish this B site. They use the same thing against Billy, the stim peek on dry peeking this.
They're going to try to go fast off of this. Amali's going to keep him back for just a moment.
Oh, they're sending it.
And it's just pistols on the other side, too. Very reminiscent of the previous round. But they've all rotated so quickly, Sean. Loud's already here, and they don't have hookah control. That paranoia, Smoggy's going to have to delay for just a moment as Howdong getting first. Kalenzine getting bested. Those pistols are just not enough in that situation. A Prime Gaming Flawless comes through for EDG.
Can you believe that a flawless round just now went in EDG's favor? Even though the score is 1-2 right now, Doug, I feel like they've strategically won all 3 of these rounds so far.
Yeah, I agree with you. To go back to the pistol, I mean the opening of the pistol.
Yes. Loud has been outplayed in all 3 of these rounds thus far, but you could see the goals of this Omen there. You could see the smoke coming in front of the site that allows the defenders to flood out in. That doesn't matter if you get shot in the head.
Right, yeah.
As one of the analysts has famously said. Ooh, that's a nice one-way right there coming out of Sadak on short. Again, just trying to stall out this A site. We have a smoke by Showers from the Brimstone. Aspas manning that area of the map. eventually I'm sure nobody's going to use some util, sniff out showers, and that's when, again, you know, they're going to go into this split on A most likely.
Deep flash out, Concon getting another kill, but the peak, the re-aggress from Tui's gets the best of them.
And just now, what happened on the B side of the map, Kawanzin threw a guiding light down. It actually caught Chichu. So they're aware of someone being down low B.
I really like what they just did with the Trailblazer, though. Sense it through teleporter to catch, make sure there's someone playing showers too. They just got a lot of info.
I don't think it matters, Doug. They're too late. Two people are stuck right now in you, and they just got to hold this down. They're stuck.
A flashback sight. They're starting to feel some of the pressure. That orbital strike now coming online. How Dong, are you going to be able to get out? No. Tui's got some Chichu and nobody, the only two that remain. In a 2v4. What a miracle this would be. Nobody's gotten them just a little bit closer. Chichu still playing his life, still being cautious about it, playing U-Haul. The spam through, nobody not able to connect. It's all on a Chichu, a 1v3 with nothing but a Spectre. Maybe he plays time, but he has no mollies. He's got some utility, but they're just going to hold it. Really, no reason not to. Tui's gets it to half. As the wall goes down, Chichu gets it to just one. Tui's hold to defuse, and we're tied at 2 apiece.
Huge hold on that A side by Aspas and Tui's. So much pressure coming in. It was a 4-on-2. The extra players coming from B, stuck behind 2 Brim Smokes from Spawn in Heaven. And they did it. The orbital strike again comes in huge. That ult will have tons of value throughout this game, and the 2 used so far already in 4 rounds have won their rounds respectively.
Shield to buy looks like your Concon has an op. He is invested. Reyna attacks on. Oh, he sold it. I've been trolled for just a little bit.
Looks like for the first time, Hong Kong wants to get some showers control. So they're going to try to disrespect this Brim Smoke over here. And this is something I kind of figured they would go for.
The question is, do Loud pounce?
Great counter molly right there from Tui's. I think EDG realized that a lot of these rounds previously, there was no one behind that smoke. This was the perfect adjustment round for Loud.
Whoa.
Oh, man, we've seen Sadok tear people up with this judge.
What are you up to here? The dog's going to clear him. Oh. Not much more info found, though.
Les here holding Hookah, about to make contact.
He just got obliterated. 18 HP. And yeah, Kawanzin's there to heal, but they're starting to feel that pressure. They realize that that's where the hit is coming. Can Loud rotate quickly enough?
Les is stalling out the long push on the hit, but it's heavy through Hookah. 4 players coming out of Hookah right now.
Right here.
Backs against the ropes. Can they hold on? They really have no choice but to play life. You see that Lear come through the wall from Hookah, getting first, but Les! What on earth was that? 3 kills for the controller, and he continues to light up the stats. What do they do from here? EDG was spiked down, well out of reach, and a 2v3 has just become a 2v2. Nobody once again trying to equalize. The Paranoid to delay for just a moment. There's a swing. Aspas gets the best of him. 13 seconds left, and it all falls on to Chichu. He gets the first. The second is there! Chichu with the Red Bull clutch and a massive play to get EDG the lead.
The 2 Vipers now absolutely popping off. Les, he was the key player actually in that comeback against Na'Vi, holding down the B side almost every round. It looked just like this, Doug. But Chichu was not on the opposing team in that game, and this was an insane play that was totally unread by Loud. Wow.
And he just diffs Aspas at the end, too.
Oh. Chichu here gonna smoke long. So instead of the Viper starting by short A, the way EDG plays this is they use their poison orb to block vision from the defenders and essentially wash out the smokes on this region of the map. Chichu controls it very, very well. In the meantime, Smoggy will often work up Hookah, while the other 2 will end up working showers or short A, which they're opting for showers here.
That op that we talked about a couple of rounds ago, now in the hands of Concon.
He's just got to contact this. I don't know if Loud's going to read this. This is a very difficult read.
I mean, Tui's just playing a little bit further back. Maybe some suspicion. Oh. A clean snap up from Concon. And the Lyra too, and that's going to draw the rotates.
Oh, they're gonna pop here.
Yeah, EDG are not in a position to flip the map. Sonic has to go aggressive here with the Bucky and try to catch a free one through the smoke. You've got the mollies, you've got everything to delay, and Sonic pounces on it. Upgrades a weapon, but the clothesline by Chichu on the other side. What? What an ult from Aspas as well. 3v3, 41 HP. And you hear the Reina ult has been used. Is it gonna matter? Aspas with the first, not able to clean up the second as Chichu counters.
The pit goes down though, Doug, and that's gonna slow things down a little bit right here. The spike getting planted by Concon.
Spike planted.
Cowanzine is so far away too, and he has nothing but a ghost, Sean.
He has one flash, and the counter pit. I was wondering if it would come out, and here it is. Flip a coin, Doug, it's time.
Mess of a situation. Can Cowanzine upgrade a weapon? I think that's key here. What utility do they have? A flash for the sky? Concon's pushing forward though, of course he is. And we wouldn't have it any other way. 2 Vipers left, Chichu and Les.
Chichu dropped his pit.
Chichu's so far back. Les just has to take a gamble. I mean,
that's the info Les was looking for. He knows now Chichu's in
but
shower.
He's pushing him. He's pushing him. Is he gonna have enough time for the defuse? I think he is. I think he's gonna be just fine.
It's so close.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Chichu, what a play!
What a play by Chichu. Just milliseconds away from Loud actually ending up in such a strong situation in this game. But no, and the timeout comes in from Fraud.
How close was that? 0.15. I mean, that's not the closest we've had this tournament, but it's pretty freaking close.
Really doesn't get much closer than that. You can see, I think after a round like that, if you're coaching Loud right now, Fraud, he just needs a breather. The rounds are just slipping out of their fingers. They're making decent adjustments now throughout this game so far, but you don't want the wind out of your sails this early into the half. This is a very pivotal timeout, and Loud, they will have a bye coming out of this, but it's not the best.
Yeah, it's going to be spotty for sure. I think on the other side for EDG too, they're doing so many things well that are just working. We've talked a little bit about the showers pressure and how they've been able to create some space around that. Concon on the Reina has found value. The attack side op has already made an appearance once, but Chichu, man. Chichu has just been an absolute menace.
I truly believe he's been the star player, actually. When watching EDG throughout this tournament, Chichu has had some monstrous clips for this team. But I think that what we really should be looking out for this round is, does Haodong obtain this orbital strike? Does Cowanzine get Seekers? Those are really pivotal plays right now in this particular round. The fight for showers begins here. This is the adjustment from Loud coming in. They're going to get a smoke from Sadak and the Brimstone and the Raze. Aspas and Tuis will challenge this orb.
The odd thing is, it's neither of them who are super keen on getting the orb. They just want to deny it from EDG.
You can almost feel the fear right there. One flash causes the Brimstone Molly to come out. That doesn't normally happen when you watch Loud, Doug. They normally sit on that Brim Molly. That's a super important stall piece of utility, but they don't know what EDG is going to go for. They believe EDG to be a very, very aggressive team. And they're right.
Yeah, the flash from Cowanzine down long is going to get some info. Got to do something to fill the void here, the lack of information, as the paranoia creeps in.
Launching smoke.
Like they're about to pounce on the weak side right now. Aspas is rotating. He just used a satchel to get here quick enough.
He's got to be convinced of what's happening on the other side because they ulted as well. Sada canceled it out, goes all the way to the other side of the map. Meanwhile, Chichu just died on the other side. They tried applying pressure from opposite sides of the map, and Loud's been able to hold it all back.
Huge rotate right there from Aspas. You could see the snake bite on the ground over there by Octagon. Absolutely stalled out the hit. And most importantly, Tui's won the fight in showers.
Yeah, that was enormous.
They could no longer take that teleport and feel safe about it.
Nobody in a 1v3. He's got Spike in hand. We've had some outrageous moments. This might take the cake if he manages to pull this off. He's going to have time to plan it, Sean. Oh, it was just a fake. Oh, Aspas satchels forward, calls him on his bluff and drops nobody. There was a window there where after he got that first kill, I thought, get the Spike down, you've got a 1v2, and maybe you got a shot at it, but Aspas becomes aggressive and cleans him up.
Caution here.
And now you're looking at, we're past the portion of the game where the game plans are run, right? These are where the teams are trying to feel each other out, really adapting to what one another are doing. Sadak now playing top truck, and again, Loud going with his showers control. 2 is again going to be fighting for this early on, making sure nobody's flash, if it does come through there, gets info. Because if it gets nothing, EDG gets showers for free.
Yeah.
But this is definitely looking like a short A pop.
Kong is nothing but a sheriff here.
Orbital Strike is so crazy with the Leers right now. But no Leers on Kong actually.
Yeah. He's right real close to ult and he just got destroyed. I mean, he's at 1 HP. He just took a lot of damage. You're starting to see the spam through the smoke. They've crept up just a little bit, but they still don't have enough site control to really commit to this. The Seeker's used by Culmination as well.
They might push as these smokes go down, dog.
Is that the Q? Is that what they're waiting for? 2E's has already cleaned up Chichu. Kong getting healed up back to 100, and it's just a tab. But the longer they delay on this Sean, I think this is going to become a problem. Les is on the flank. There's nothing to cover it or to clear it right now.
Les is sneaking around right now on market, and he is potentially about to end this round.
Yeah, he very well may do it on his own. There it is. There's the flank. Howdong done, dealt with, obliterated as Les gets a second to swing on the third, and it connects. A prime gaming flawless for Loud.
So patient. The taps from Les. He's so mechanically gifted when you watch him. So calm with the Vandal. And we get our first timeout now out of Edward Gaming.
Dude, Les is having a career tournament right now, which is just insane to say. He's so young. He's just so good.
The words on the streets coming into this, dog, were that Les and Aspas were just dropping bombs on people in scrims.
Ooh, and I think the fascinating thing is it's translating.
Yes.
It's not, they're not just scrim demons. We're seeing it in the server. I think I was looking at the stats for the entire tournament. Both of them are in, what, top 5?
They are popping off. I mean,
it's just been mad.
Very absent event in Tokyo from both of them, if I'm being honest.
Well, all of them, really.
Yeah, all of them. That was an abysmal event, given the standards that I think we have set from Loud. Previous champions winners. America's winners.
It just seems like such a distant memory right now.
Yeah, that version of Loud is long gone. This new version looks reinvigorated, and I didn't know if they would be able to do it outside of Harbor Viper. They found some new solutions here. Triple controller on Bind. We've only even seen Harbor Viper on one map.
Yeah,
that's
just
Haven,
once.
which we could end up getting here.
Yeah. The decider, if we go the distance, and given how things have gone so far, it's a very high possibility. Really neither team willing to fold or give but an inch. You see that wall coming out? Oftentimes you'll see that go through teleporter as Energy pioneered, but the fact that it's not going through teleporter tells me, Sean, that they want to continue to fight for the showers control and have that line.
I mean, there's really no need, though, when you have 3 controllers, right? You got smokes for days. What's the point? But again, the Omen one-way comes in showers. The Brim smoke comes deep short. And Les is over here just stalling out Long B. If you're going to play Loud, you better move at a slow pace.
Which is just so different. Dude, if Kong... Oh, he was given away by the shoulder. What was that? That was so close. And they're going to continue to aggress. They're going to try to take Octagon control. That nade in the lap is they have to reposition, but Smoggy finding one with the Marshall.
He just went right through the snake bite. It's a 3-on-3. This is so winnable for EDG right now. The rotate coming heavy through spawn.
And 2 weapons upgraded.
And Chichu.
The timing that he's going to get.
What is his play?
Can they buy enough time for Chichu's timing to matter?
Does he go spawn here? I don't know if he has time for this.
Yeah, if they don't hold the site, it's not going to matter. They've got to be able to hold the site, and Smoggy's already fallen. It's going to go on to nobody who's already weak. He's got the orbital strike in his lap. He drops.
This is a very difficult read, though, Doug. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if Loud reads this.
But even if they don't, I mean, it's a 1v3 with the Sheriff, right?
Oh, this
right?
Really
right?
This.
Okay.
Oh.
The fact that he got 2-3 extra shots off on that last player made me very uncomfortable.
For a second there, I forgot we were dealing with 3 controllers, and I forgot we were dealing with smart players. They like to throw their smokes on top of the spike, which is indeed the play. Keeps the lines open for everyone to protect.
Yeah.
Whew.
I mean, take a look at this again. What was it? Oh, it's just the shoulder, man. It's just a pixel. What did he see? And the way that they're set up, I think we're starting to see some of their approaches, Sean. Kong takes U-Haul, they continue to push down long, and then they can crunch Octagon with the Leer through the wall.
Yeah.
And if they can't get that space with Kong, they're going to have a hard time doing that.
And Kong, he's busted out the op again. I don't know if this is going to work out well for him, though, because, again, we're seeing the double smokes on A. Brim smoke deep short, one-way Omen smoke showers, and Les will stall out long B with these snake bites for days. Chichu playing pitch and catch with the poison orb.
And also, I think, countering that flash from Cowanzine. The flash wasn't deep enough. It got caught in the orb, and it didn't get any info.
A lot of pressure put on this B site right there, but it's all a fake. They're trying to pull the third player to B, and they've done it. Sadak has rotated, and now we're looking at a potential 2-on-5 in this A site, Doug.
Cowanzine just flashed again. It was so shallow. They also just trailblazered into sand. Oh, I can't tell if they got much info. Oh, it seems to have been enough. We see Les is starting to consider the rotate already.
Oh, dear.
There it is. Opshot landing on a Sadak.
He doesn't miss those.
No. One controller down, 2 to go. Kong still with the op, and Tui just destroys Kong. They're going to have to fight for showers control, though. Oh, gosh, Smoggy got caught asleep.
Haodong's ult and Brim Molly could be the biggest player in this round right now. Nobody needs this.
Uh-oh.
And he doesn't.
Where was he going? He was just so aggressive, pushing into the smoke. I don't understand. There's an orbital strike. It's going to buy a little bit more time. But was it used too early?
The Brim Molly is already out.
There
it is. And it's missed.
Just a bit.
It's missed.
Do they know, though?
I don't think they've realized yet.
No, I don't think they did. Chichu pushing forward into the face of 2. Haodong trying to swing, and he can't do anything about it. Aspas gets 3. The fuse comes through. Loud with the 2-round lead now.
Oh, EDG with such a good start into this game. You can feel it just slipping out of their reach right now. This is really taking a turn.
4 rounds in a row. And what was it on the other side of the timeout? I think it's kind of just gone sideways.
Yeah, we were looking at a 4-2, 4-2 scoreline. And the timeout came in from Fraud, and things really turned around at that point. Insane stuff. Another force buy, though, coming out of EDG. I think they need this to build something for the rest of this half. Potentially get a 6-6 end.
Oh, fake teleport? Out from Sadak?
Yeah, a little shrouded step as you jump in.
We haven't seen that tech in a while.
I like it. Tui's, though, again, keeping showers controlled, deep smoke on short, and that allows Aspas to feel super comfortable about rotating. Loud reading this round well.
Hey, everyone from EDG is here. Yeah, it's a split. Kong has the ult. Does he commit? That nade is good to deny the exit out, but yeah, he does commit to the ult. Smoggy dashing forward, and Aspas drops him. The showstopper not going to connect, but it does deal a little bit of damage now. Aspas still playing in the tin, dropping another as nobody falls. The nade refreshed, the kill comes through. Aspas with 3. Finally falls. Kong still in play. He's still got the ult too. Can he 1v2? No, he cannot. It's Kong and Chichu that snatched the round back for EDG.
And that's what we were needing out of Kong. A huge round coming out of him on this arena. 2 pivotal kills to keep them in this game. 6-5 is the scoreline. With the Viper's Pit in play, this is going to be really difficult for Loud because they've given up the site a couple times now. I think it's possible that EDG does enter these sites, get the spike down, and with the pit available and the Brim Molly, the Viper snake bites, this is something that can be stalled out for a very long time. Only 1 flash though on nobody right now.
Yeah, just didn't have enough really to go for more. There's that 1 flash. Oh, and it was a fake. It's just delayed. It buys a little bit of time. Nobody reads that so well.
Oh. But he does have the Sky Heal. Heals Kong back up to 100 right here. And Smoggy 1 off of ult. Dude, they could give him this Showers Orb. They could prioritize getting him an Orb right now. But look at the setup from Loud. Yeah, I don't think they've played this aggressive on long thus far.
Yeah, you're right. They haven't. Meanwhile, EDG have tested those waters so many times.
They're making the right play here, though, Doug. Pivoting back to this A site. They know they have Showers control. They're aware of a potential TP play or a re-clear of Showers, so they've backed out, kind of enticing a bait play to happen.
Oh, oh no.
Oh no.
He manages to get 1. So much more was on the plate. But it just ends up being an appetizer, just a taste. Meanwhile, EDG with numbers advantage, off in the hands of Aspas. And he's rotating through. It's going to be late. I mean, both of them are still sitting on the other side of the map just now. They're going to invest a pit out from Chichu as well. And that pit is going to become so much less effective. Kong 39 HP. He drops less, heals up a little bit. Aspas with the op. Upgraded a weapon. And this would be a vintage Aspas round, Sean. If he can pull this off, satcheling forward, still has to deal with the pit. Nobody spotted on the other side, trying to deal with the targets, trying to find which one is right, and he cannot. Nobody with 3, and we're tied at 6.
Unbelievable end to this half, and I wouldn't have it any other way. 6-6, we are dead even. Wow.
We'll take a look at that round one more time, and the fact that Loud put together an unreal streak to get us to that point. Remember, it was EDG who was in control.
Yeah, they were in control in the early part of the game. Loud rallies back into it. EDG, they'll close out the half with 2 huge gun rounds when Loud had a serious economy built.
Such an important round for them to get in the books. We're going to throw it over to the desk to break down their first half. Yinsu, take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. Yes, this cannot be any closer, 6-6 at the half. But let's take a look at the Verizon high-speed moment here. A whole round, in fact, that ended up Mimi with a massive Choo-Choo clutch.
So I think this is really indicative of this game, where I feel like Loud had great control. It starts off by them using these smokes to hold on to short control and pull out a lot of this Sky Initiator utility that their comp is really good for. You also see here, there's that Brim smoke in the late round to help them flood into B. They have a lot of great ideas with this double controller comp that set them up to win this round. But with 10 seconds left, Chi-Chu comes in, he wins this 1v2 and gets EDG back in control. And I feel like this is indicative of so much of this half, Brett.
Yeah, I mean, insane spray control from Chi-Chu, but you're completely correct. It is essentially a mirror of what happened, I think, because Loud, again, came into this with solid ideas of how they wanted to play it with the triple controller, but it came down to clutch, big individual moments, players popping off, and that's what EDG have done to tie up, essentially, and make it as close as it's been at this half, 6-6, despite the fact that I think Loud do have a slightly better game plan.
Yeah, I absolutely agree there. In the second half, though, I think things get interesting, because this is where I feel like it's a little bit harder to get use out of this triple controller. You can throw down Omen one-ways for extremity control, you can stall out against retakes quite a lot, but I actually think this EDG comp, as it was in the first half, is really good for pushing deep in these late round situations and actually fighting through those smokes to flood retake.
Yeah, of course, the Reyna on the defense as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what EDG and Kong have cooked up for us. Without further ado, let's get back into game and the second half with your casters. Back to you, Doug and Sean.
Thank you so much, Jinsu. Just a few moments away from kicking off the second half, tied at 6 apiece here on Bind. Loud put together an unreal streak there just to keep it competitive, Sean, because otherwise it felt like EDG was in full control.
It really did, and you know what? I don't think we have much time to talk about it right now, Doug, because I think we're about to see an absolute brawl at this A site. 3 defenders here from EDG, 5 ready to lurk up short A right now, potentially with his Viper wall. Trailblazer goes out. An immediate counter util comes from EDG and lurk in the smoke!
How does he get away with that? He's got the chance for more, not able to connect though. Kong has shown up. He was at Showers early on. The spike is still down. Smoggy re-aggressing, taking the space that was left vacant. And EDG in firm control. Loud just crumble. I mean, you see it. Their bodies are littered at the exit to A short. No traction found. No space gained. And Tui's just left to sit and wonder about what went wrong.
Look at the setup too. On contact, paint shells into Showers. EDG really trying to secure this round, but Tui's!
Gosh, Tui's, you gonna pull this off? Ooh. That was danger. Danger for just a moment. But when you're down so big in numbers, Sean, it's just so difficult to, you put yourself in a 1v4 like that. It's difficult to execute on.
Really is, and that is so big for a team like EDG to start halves well. It is massive. Getting the operator in Kong's hands, especially on this defensive half, has to be at the top of your priority list. He's already got the Marshall. I mean, he's going towards Shower, and Doug, I think we're about to see a clip.
Well, remember, there was a flash at the beginning of the previous round for this exact spot. But
One
this
way
time
at the
it's
corner.
A smoke. Oh my gosh.
Oh, he does
just
not care.
disrespects it, bro.
Do it again. You know he wants
I mean, he might.
Unreal. Smoggy taking out the solo short A lurker. That leaves only 3 players left. All 3 right here in front of Kong.
It's a tough angle. One way subsides. It's a no-scope. There are 2 of them. What? Kong teeing off on Loud. Slaughtering goats like this is an old ritual.
Jesus. Downsy next in line.
And of course, it's Kong. Who else? The 4K for him. EDG with the 2-round lead and an excellent start to the second half.
Gun here.
I really don't know the value of it, but I have seen something pop off with this Empress in this tournament. I think he's one of the only players I've seen pop off with the Empress. But it's pretty wild that KongKong has this going into the bonus round right now.
I mean, we talked about in the first half how they were so close to having an orbital strike, but yeah, the Empress takes a little bit less. What a performance out from KongKong.
Huge disadvantage, though, on the guns here of this bonus. Despite having such a good eco round right there.
You can see, to convert for sure.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a difficult round here for EDG. Deep brim smoke, and that you can afford to do that with this triple controller comp. They can afford to waste these smokes for map control. They're trying to get a reaction right now out of EDG. Sniff out this setup, really figure out where they are. The Showers reaggress comes in, and Aspas is here with Sadak.
Does he have a Lear? He does, he has 2.
Cover going out. Sadak has smoked the end of Shower, just like how we saw at Octagon.
Dude, Smoggy has an 8 as well. I mean, as soon as they sniff out, they've got to be careful. Yeah, Aspas, I guess maybe not liking what's happening, not convinced that it's safe. Takes a step back. They're going to rotate back B.
The flash comes through the teleport. I don't even believe it popped, but you could see the idea right there. They were trying to get info outside of that teleporter, and they back off out of Showers. The rotate is coming into B, but I don't know if it'll be here quick enough. Howdong on the rotate right now. Has a molly to stall this out. Oh, this could be bad for Loud, dog.
It's the first molly already used. Chichu holding on to the second, and there it is. In the face of the paranoia and the nade, they have to take a step back. The delay on this has been so good. They can't easily make their way out. This bonus very well may work off because there's still so much utility for them to play around. 13 seconds left. Oh, the spike's still not out, and it's finally starting to gain some traction. You have the rifle advantage, but can you convert? Chichu with the sidestep, the classic, not connecting. Bonus EDG.
And with that buy, the stall on the B sites coming in. Chichu's snake bites were incredible right there.
And honestly, I remember watching Kawanzin with the early flash just to clear Octagon, and I went, that's an audio cue.
Yes.
I mean, you have so much utility that you can use to delay this. I mean, you read that so well.
Yes. And I think, everyone has been a little bit critical of Nobody and his util usage on this solo initiator role.
Yeah.
But right there, I think his guiding light made the play, right? Yep. It might not have even popped, but it really didn't matter. They still ended up rotating towards B. The idea was there.
Right back into the action, Loud with 5 sheriffs, just 1 player without armor, and that's Sadak. He's had some massive plays on this very map in this tournament. EDG are just playing in a different form right now.
Interesting idea by Nobody right there, not wanting to use any of his util early. I think he's waiting for this Brim Smoke to go down, get some information in the mid-round. You can see the flash right there outside of Hookah, get some info, and that's going to make KongKong cheat a little bit over towards this B site. Showers control maintained firmly right now by EDG. You see Smoggy holding a super deep line.
Where do they go from here? Flash getting a little bit of info into Showers.
This definitely feels like it's heading towards this A site. And KongKong, again, is making the right decision. 3rd player at this A site. Let's got that!
That's unreal. Smoggy with a really nice trade that we're going to have to see that on the replay. He repositions. That paranoia is going to cause some problems. He's got to push into the smoke, expecting Sadak there. The satchel. Oh my gosh, they walked right by each other. Smoggy had no idea, dealt with assassination style. They've lost control of the site. They've lost control of this round.
And this is a gorgeous post-plant setup. They have the crossfire from bench to default, the swing coming out of Showers.
I don't know how to get back into this. It just went from bad to worse.
I don't think they do, Doug. I think this is over.
Chichu 1v4, 2 rifles on the other side. Sure, Aspas is weak, but when you have no idea of where he is, what are you going to do with it? A MasterCard Thrifty for Loud as they punch back.
Okay.
Wow. Just when I thought Loud is potentially out of this game, they come in and get the MasterCard Thrifty. Aspas now having the showstopper in this full gun round. This is going to be a wild round. Buckle up, because we have the Orbital Strike on Howdong, we have the Empress and Op on KongKong, and I think we're going to see a double satchel ult coming out of Aspas right now. Super heavy play towards long B, potential stim peek on long, catch someone off guard, and that's where the op is.
They're ready for it. That flash, Concon takes the line, but a second flash, but he's quiet with it.
So smart. Doesn't want to give away that the op is in play. And the jump spot coming out of Chichu, it's a bait. The way they set him up for these shots, Tui's is in big trouble here.
Can he connect? Yes, he can. Tui's again betrayed by just a pixel. How do they stabilize from here? You see Sadak is taking some space towards showers, but what else can you find? The spike just now scooped up. Les creeping forward. You've got a couple members here. He's knifed out. He's knifed out.
I think he even knifed Smoggy once, but it just wasn't enough.
For Loud, I mean, this round just feels so labored.
I think it really hurt them losing Tui's like that. He has a really strong off angle, but that's the kind of stuff Concon has been known to punish. So quick on the trigger.
30 seconds left.
This round's looking all but hopeless here for Loud. They're looking for a pick, but I don't know if EDG is going to even give it to them.
Oh, dire strangers. Cowanzine drops.
Oh no!
Taodong, what have you done, Sean? Cowanzine with 2 massive kills. Nobody plucking Aspas out of the sky.
The Seeker, he's following it.
I mean, he's got to be careful here. He's here by himself and he falls. The rotations are coming through. Cowanzine, 15 HP.
7, 6. The op is rotating.
Oh, just barely missing. Spike planted. Sunk into the soil of the site. Cowanzine with 4. Chichu's going to have to 1v2 this if he wants to pull this off. Cowanzine, 15 HP. The flash to take the line. Can Cowanzine pull it off? Yes, he can. The ace for Loud.
It looks so improbable.
He had 15 HP on that last fight.
From the 3-on-5, Cowanzine busts up short A, gets 2 picks, pops the Seekers, follows them for the 3rd, takes out the 4th. That is an insane round from the young talent on Loud.
I mean, he was dropping on that first. I don't know how he destroyed nobody there the way that he did, but this right here, I mean, the freaking fadeaway. What a shot. What a play out of Loud.
And right after witnessing that ace come in, has to take the second time out for EDG. That is one that will definitely be a blow right to the gut. EDG, how do they bounce back after that? They're going to be really scraping at the bottom of the barrel if they buy here.
It's mad, dude. Loud, and you know, we've talked about this a little bit. I'm convinced that there's a little extra grit that ends up on a team when you make your way through Group D. Because Loud have had 2 instances now, just in this map, where we go, oh, Loud are done. Right? They're not going to be able to regain their footing. They're not going to be able to reestablish control. And they constantly just refuse to go away.
There's a reason, Doug, why heart of a champion is a saying. And Loud,
true.
It doesn't matter that they have 2 new players. It does not matter. They have 0 quit in them. And when I watch them play, they almost never falter in these late game heroics. And the one exception was the lock-in finals. That was the only time that I have ever seen this team crumble in a big moment.
What a disaster that was. Historic. But Loud somehow still looking to fight to stay alive to defend their title.
Get a drop?
Previous champions winners.
We're going to get a fight here in showers. I think Concong's going to try to just immediately get a pick.
Smoggy with the Marshall, but that one way causing problems, and you can't do the same thing Reyna can do in a situation like that. You can't dismiss out. Aspas is going aggressive. He's got the ult. He's paranoid. The ult lands onto Smoggy.
Concong's still up in showers.
How is he still alive? Finally dealt with by Aspas. And EDG, now it's on them to crumble unless Chichu can pull off a 1v4 and get the spike defuse. 2 mollies, orb in hand. Cowanzine a little aggressive here on the pop and the swing, and now you see the stack. 3 members here.
Chichu's thinking about it. Does he want to save this rifle into the next round? Concong's only on 500 credits. Like, this would be a huge rifle to save, and no.
Not interested at all.
I think they bought down in such a way to buy actually into this 19th round.
Yeah, I think they'll be okay.
And I want to say Smoggy might have had enough to... Yeah, he did. Okay, smart play by Smoggy right there. The reason why we saw the Marshall that last round, he saved money in the bank to get that operator onto Concon. That's definitely going to be a winning factor here. We saw him open up that previous 3-on-5 at Long B. It's just they couldn't convert it. Where is he going to go for this opening fight now? He wants to go fight out of hookah. Historically, this is a very difficult fight to take in a pro match, but no one, I believe, is going to be there to take. Oh,
he went a little late.
Oh, Sadak
puts it right between his eyes.
Does the reaction come out loud? Les wants to go through this right now so bad.
Dude, they just invested Seekers too. And every inch that Seekers takes away is just space that EDG's going to fill behind it. They've got him controlled. They've got him corralled. They have him in showers right now. They can't flip the map.
All of the info is in EDG's hands, and Chichu, I think it's on Chichu to not overextend right here, but Smoggy goes through short.
Passes less, gets the kill. And again, you still have to deal with the flank that Chichu's been on for what feels like an eternity. Timing is everything. Aspas falls, all attention turned towards short, and that's when Chichu strikes. You see him creeping forward. He's going to have the spike too. This is going to be the round, Sean.
I don't think Kanzin has the eyes in the back of his head. He had a crazy three.
Oh, no! What a play! What? Disaster! As everything fumbles. Concon left alone in a 1v2, and all of a sudden, a breath of life for Loud.
30 seconds left.
How does Concon pull this off? He's got to be quiet with it. He's got to be careful. He's got the element of surprise, but Chewy's wise to it. He knows he's there. He's ready. He's got to catch a swing.
Oh, the heal on the Reyna.
Seekers invested too, and look at the reposition from Kawanzin.
No Lear's here.
Kawanzin creeping forward. Again, quiet on the approach. Not a single sound made, and Konkon's gonna stick at the hole. Oh my gosh! How was that not through?
He got that!
How was that not through?
That's insane!
Show me the bar!
That is an insane round again from Kawanzin, Doug. I cannot believe it. He might have 15 frags, but dear God, these are some of the biggest rounds of this map right now. I cannot believe Loud just stole that round. That guiding light on short. And then this.
Oh my gosh!
What?
Where's the gap? I don't see it. There's no gap there.
You said it yesterday to me. It's better to be lucky than good. I think Kawanzin has proved these both right now. That is insane.
I mean, for such a pivotal round to go their way. Mere milliseconds, the decider. And now Loud with control. EDG on a weird buy. 2 stingers, 2 pistols, and a guardian for Chichu. Oh, what a turn of events. No real time to dwell for it either if you're EDG, because Loud were already knocking on P's door. The crunch is nice through teleporter.
This is a very weird round right now.
They're gonna flip the map too. I mean, look at Loud.
No way. Do they know Aspas is...
I mean, they know now. Chichu with nothing but a sliver of health, 1 HP, and Aspas still being a nuisance, being a problem. Eventually meets his demise, but through all of that, Loud have taken the spike, and they're going back towards A.
Well, hold up, Doug. I think I've seen this before.
Down.
I mean, they've upgraded weapons too, Sean. Kongkong is a Vandal. Not like this.
The Brim Molly, the Omen Blind. These are crazy pieces of util that could catch people out in the middle of the open, stall the plan. I see how it would be possible.
Discipline is paramount here if you're EDG. The rounds that feel the safest, the rounds that feel the most secure, are often the most dangerous.
Cover going out.
Sadak with the paranoia, snapping onto nobody. He's gonna get so much more of a challenge, and Kongkong and Smoggy avoid disaster. Tie us at 10, and remember, this was 2 stingers, a guardian, and sheriffs.
That's insane. That's actually insane that this is the round EDG wins. But I mean, there has been so many rounds where I feel like EDG has these incredible advantages, and I cannot believe they can't close them out. But then a round like this happens, and you're quickly reminded what keeps this team in the game. It's not the 3-on-5 plays. It's not all the crossfires. It's just incredible little micro plays. The skill across this EDG roster it might be unmatched.
They've gone toe-to-toe with Loud up until this point. We're tied at 10 once more.
The Omen one-way in showers again, putting a huge thorn in the side right now of EDG, and the short pop is happening. Omen ult into U-Haul, and the paint shell frag onto Les.
They're gonna fully crunch though. This is gonna be really difficult for Loud. If you don't reestablish Shower's control, I think this is gonna be tough to hold.
I don't know about this Viper's pit right here, Doug. They pit out of Showers.
Molly.
That's an interesting call by Chichu.
Yeah. You're absolutely right, but they've got to funnel him out because, again, they don't have Shower's control, and now the pit's going to have to be dealt with. Kalmanzine is dropped, so they've got the flank. I mean, they're stuck in U-Haul.
The movement!
They're stuck in U-Haul, but Tui's and Aspas punch back. A 2v2 pit still in play as Aspas drops it with the judge. Smoggy left alone. The Satchel to buy some time to reposition and take a different angle, try to isolate the gunfights. Tui's so weak. Smoggy orbital strike in his lab, has to take a step back, and there's nowhere to run. Loud take the lead once more.
Oh man, EDG from the 5-on-4. Again, these advantageous scenarios, they cannot close them out. They can't do it.
This is mad. Aspas found so much value with the judge. That snap onto Chichu, I mean, secures the round.
I have to question that Viper's pit. I'm not a fan. Just gives free shots, just taking free shots all over. No punish in sight right there coming from EDG. And now Loud look to get on map point here.
And they have 2 ults to do with it, and there's one of them. Aspas pushing forward with the showstopper.
So there's no good.
No. Nothing found beneath them.
They've been stuck though.
Oh, that might be exactly what they're doing, Sean. You're absolutely right. Nobody's holding the line. Kalmanzine can't find a way out. Octagon's not safe to go through either. That's a fake once more. And look at the rotations. Howdong's already heading back to A.
This is the dream scenario for EDG. They've found the solo initiator. The player that gets the information for this composition. And right now, Loud, they're going to have to take an absolute stab at this. They have no idea what's going on across the map.
Yeah, but you can tell Loud have a plan here.
They left the spike, though. Look where the spike is.
Exactly. Sadak just put the spike down. So remember, they faked the teleport to suggest that they're going back A. They've cut noise. And now Sadak is going to make some presence A.
Oh.
Given that they're down in numbers, given that they don't have an initiator, they have to try to manipulate this and try to marionette their way through the round. But can they do it?
Left.
Les just creeps his way forward, drops
It's on Smoggy. Smoggy.
Oh, he's got too many targets to deal with. He can't.
The player showers, Sadak finds it, and now we're in a 2-on-2. This is anyone's game right now, Doug.
Tui's just so weak. Sadak may be caught with utility out. You gotta be careful. The timing's not on your side. Nobody drops him. 10 seconds left. Tui's left in a 1v2 with nothing but a sliver of HP. 11, and that's not gonna be enough. Nobody gets 4, and of course, we're tied once more.
Whew. Up by 2 and you win, type B, and they are not down. This is just going back and forth at this point. This is insane. The fights happening across the map.
Dude, you called that stuff out of Hookah too, and it was perfect. They couldn't find any space out of Hookah. They couldn't find any space out of Octagon. And that forced Loud into this disastrous situation where they were discombobulated and they were indecisive on it.
Our final timeout of regulation coming in here. Fraud taking one for Loud. We saw what he was capable of in that first half. The adjustment coming in so quick. I am so excited to see what he's calling out of this timeout. I think the B site is shut down for business. If I'm being honest here, Doug, but here's the thing. If I'm after on EDG, I know that as well. And there could be a little bit of reverse psychology. There could be some mind games going on. I think what could happen right now is a potential A fake into a B pop, just because EDG will believe this is going to be an A round, and they will rotate as if it were an A round. So something like that is definitely in the cards, and it would certainly work really well right now for Loud coming out of this timeout. Les's pit. I mentioned it before. This pit on Bind is very difficult to deal with.
We got to take a look at the money situation too, as we're so near the end of this map. Les, we talked about his pit, and fortunately he has the pit so he can be a little bit safer, but all he has is a stinger.
Some early hookah pressure going to come in right now from Kalmanzine and Aspas. think Tui's single goal right now is if someone pushes long or a guiding light comes down, get hit by it, make a presence. Nothing does, so he's immediately heading back to this A site. Light hookah pressure. I don't think they have any intentions of going B this round, though.
Fortunately for EDG, they have 3 members A. That's where all of Loud seems to be headed.
I think at this point also, EDG has realized Sadak is a solo Showers lurker. I think they're going to take the fight to him right now in this mid-round.
Dude, Smoggy hasn't been cleared either. Sadak gets the first, the paranoia. He somehow eventually dies. Nobody on the reaggress. Loud just crumble. Wow. They get obliterated as EDG find themselves on map point.
And just like that, they take the lead right at the finish line. But Loud, they played that smart. They left enough in the tank for a buy here on this last round.
Sure.
They purposely half-bought down right there. Kalanzine only with a Guardian. Sadak here missing a Paranoia, which, I'm going to be honest, I think that's a really big piece, as well as a Boombot, a Sting for a lack of a quick long peek. There's a lot of stuff actually missing.
Yeah, you're right.
At Loud's purchases right now. Triple push short. The first sign of aggression comes in the last round.
Kong gets an off. You hear it rattled off. Sending a shiver down their spine. There's the swing out. Smoggy getting the best of less. And they take a step back. EDG looking to go for the jugular, but it's countered back.
I think that's a light win for Loud. The 4-on-4. That's going to spread EDG out, and they found the Brimstone. That's the stall in this comp. They don't have 3 controllers.
Sadak has to stay alive here. Sadak has to stay alive. Just narrowly going wide.
And more importantly, though, that keeps Smoggy at this A site. So what is the play from Loud right now? You can see they are just at a snail's pace right now on this minimap. They are slowly moving towards A.
Meanwhile,
getting so much space in Showers.
Well, he's got to be careful, though. He's by himself. You were mentioning Smoggy a moment ago. He rotated back A.
Oh, the Seekers come out. They're going to know only one player is at this A site. They are going to pounce so fast.
But can he do it again? Op in hand. No! Doesn't even get a shot. Aspas drops him, and now he scoops it up. Loud in a position to take us to OT.
Smoggy showstopper.
And that's really not a surprise. You're right. The nade first. Aspas repositioning. A 3v3. It's just the showstopper. Tui's 1 point away from the orbital strike.
Could be waiting for the guiding light coming in from nobody.
There's the ult. The first clear. You called the flash. Aspas with the clean movement, getting away. Staying alive. Potentially preserving the round as nobody's on the flank. Tui's dropped. And they've got Aspas and Kalanzine corralled. There's nowhere for them to go. Smoggy with 4 and EDG take bind.
Oh my goodness. What a map from EDG. I can't believe it. After losing all of those advantageous scenarios, wasting ults, it doesn't matter. You get shot in the face, you die. You die, Doug. That's how this works. This is an FPS game.
Freaking A, Bren was right.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Map 1 going in favor of EDG. Ascend on the other side. We'll be right back.